Good evening, fellow vapors. This is Cass, and today I'm back at you with another juice review. Today we're going to be looking at the new line from THISisCAS. We're going to be looking at their Senses range. It is a range of 3 flavors. It should be up on your screen now. We're going to be looking at their Peach Perfect, the Grappleberry, and the Rhubellion. So it's 3 interesting flavors from a company that we have reviewed in the past. We did their first initial 5 flavors from THISisCAS. The guys have been kind enough to send their new range my way for the purposes of this review. So let's get straight down to it. And the first juice we're going to be looking at is Peach Perfect. So let me read it to you. The clue is in the name. This peach and grapefruit creation reveals a relishing twist that revels on your lips. It's Peach Perfect. I do like a peach vape. I haven't had that many of them, but the ones I have had I do like. Let's look at today's setup. So today's setup is going to be the Squid Industries Double Barrel V3. There will be a review coming on this very, very soon. And atop that, I've got the Alpha RDA. Let's have a go with the Peach Perfect. All right, so this is the Peach Perfect from THISisCAS Senses. That's an interesting one. The peach on that is really quite a sweet, fruity peach. It almost tastes like, you used to be able to get these sort of peach candy drinks, and it's got very much that sort of candy flavour to it. But the nice thing about that is that with each hit I took, it tasted slightly different. So I was getting a lot of peach on that inhale, and then on the exhale, you'd get some of that grapefruity, citrusy mix that was, you know, quite refreshing. And the nice thing about this is it's not too sweet. It's sweet in that it is a fruit flavor, because, you know, fruit flavors can be naturally sweet, but this one isn't too over the top. It's a really nice, clean, sharp peach flavor, and then you get that citrusy grapefruit right off the back note of that. I was expecting it to be massively sweet because some of the original range were quite sweet. I'm also surprised it's not got a cold hit to it, because a lot of the THISisCAS range has a cold hit to it, but this is actually quite a pleasant, refreshing fruit vape. It's not too over the top. I think that peach might become a little bit tiresome if you were to vape it all day. Obviously, I've had 5 puffs of it, and these are true first impressions. I haven't tried any of these yet. I think it's nice and fresh and fruity. I don't think it's going to become boring. I don't think it's going to lose its flavour, and I don't think it's going to kill your coils. The original THISisCAS range was always quite kind to coils. It never really was a coil killer. And the flavour never disappeared. I oil-dayed quite a few of those flavours. But this one is quite pleasant if you like your peaches. If you don't like peaches, avoid this like the plague. If you don't like grapefruit, avoid this like the plague, because these are the 2 main flavours in there. They're not subtle. They are absolutely 100% there in roughly equal amounts, and it makes for exactly what they say it does. Let's move swiftly on to the next flavour. I don't want to bore you with super long, rambly descriptions of these juices, so I'm going to be moving quite quickly through them, and hopefully I can get all the information across to you guys that I need to without skipping anything out or making anything too vague or brief. So this is the second flavour. The second flavour we're going to be looking at is the Grappleberry. So the Grappleberry is, it says, get to grips with the ultimate berry takeover as you're presented with the sensation of succulently delicious grapes and berries that take hold of your taste buds. Now, if I'm honest, when I saw Grappleberry, I thought it was going to be grape, apple, and berries. There doesn't seem to be any apple in this. Right, so this is the Grappleberry from THISisCAS Senses. Very, very strong grape flavour straight off the bat, like this sort of sweet, sugary grape soda grape flavour. The weird thing is like, to eat grapes, they don't taste like this, so this is some grape soda flavour for sure. It's definitely a dark grape flavour. It's not like a white grape flavour. On the inhale and the majority of the exhale, that's what you're getting. You're getting this grape soda-y grape. It's nice and light. It's not too heavy a flavour. It's not monstrously sweet, and I really was expecting it to be so. I mean, again, it's one of those ones, fruits are sweet, but it's not over the top. The thing that I'm not getting as much of, and I wish there was more of, was that sort of mixed berry undertone. And it is sort of there, but it's really needed to dull down that super sharp, hard-hitting grape flavour that absolutely takes this vape over. Now, if you're a grape lover, that isn't going to bother you, but I think if you're going to put things like mixed berries into that, you can't let that one flavour take over the rest of them. And, you know, it's sort of subtly there. I'm getting a little bit of it in the aftertaste, but it's not there in the same way that I personally would want it to. If anything, I'd want this to be a berry heavy vape, and because grape is so strong, I think that would come through on its own with just a small amount of that in there. That said, Nice and refreshing, nice and fruity, nice and juicy. Definitely an all day. Grapes make very good all day vapes. As a general rule, I think there's one that probably I've had that wasn't. It was rank. But I think this is going to be quite nice. Like I said, these are coming in like little stubby 60 mils, which I quite like the size of because they're small and they fit in the hand and they're nice and easy to film as well. It's quite a solid flavour. It hasn't blown me away, that Grappleberry. I thought it was going to be like this fruity medley concoction of berries and grapes, and it was going to be a menagerie of flavours, and I'm getting grape and a hint of berry, and it's not blown my mind. But so far, the peach one is in the lead. That was a very impressive peach flavour. Let's move on to the third and final flavour of the 6LIX Senses range. This one I've been interested to try because of what I think it might be. Let's throw it up on the screen and see what they say about it. So, Rhubellion, rise up and rebel against the norm with this flavour revelation. Juicy apples rise up with tart rhubarb for an assault on your taste buds. Now, we've had apple and rhubarb flavours before. We've had apple and rhubarb crumble ×2, one from UK Labs, one from Home Baked, but I've never had an apple and rhubarb crumble, an apple and rhubarb vape, no crumble, apple and rhubarb vape on its own. So this is the Rhubellion from 6LIX Senses. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised by this. When I opened that bottle, all I could smell was this really acrid, noxious smell coming off of the bottle. And I thought, oh God, this is going to be another one that smells like or tastes like glue. I was wrong. Actually, this one is fairly impressive. The thing about this is you're going to have to like a really tart rhubarb flavour because that's what this is. It's incredibly tart rhubarb flavour, and you've got this sort of Granny Smith sharp apple flavour mixed in there. It is surprisingly light and it is not overly sweet, but it is a very sharp vape. It's quite juicy. It is, again, quite fruity, as all of these have been. And I didn't really know what to expect from an apple and rhubarb only vape. You know, you see apple and rhubarb in God knows how many dessert flavours, but to see it in a fruit-based vape is quite unique and interesting. They've done this quite well. However, it is a bit tart for my own personal liking. I think if that rhubarb was a little sweeter and that apple was less of that super sharp tart apple, I'm sort of a Braeburn person myself, so I like the sweeter, fruitier apples as opposed to the super sharp sort of choose itself tart apples. And I think they've gone too far into the tart domain for this to be something that I could personally all day. Now, maybe if I all dayed it and I got used to it, that wouldn't be so much of a problem. But this one for me, just off the back of a few puffs, is quite, tart. And the aftertaste in it is sort of subtle, but I can still feel that at the back of my tongue where you get that sort of sharpness feeling. But it's impressive. I must say, out of these three that I've tried, I think the Peach Perfect takes it. I think that's probably my favorite one, followed by the Grape, followed by the Rhubarb and Apple. The Rhubarb and Apple didn't blow my mind, but it is very interesting to see what they've done with this, and they've taken a nice fruity flavour. It's a solid range. It is a solid fruit range. I'm glad they haven't put ice in it. I am glad that they haven't made it some kind of candy or some kind of gummy or something along those lines. It's just straight up fruit, and for that I applaud you, because it is brave to do a fruit. A lot of companies like to hide flavours under things like menthol, under things like these super sweet gummy flavours, and for that they've done a good job with this. It's, you know, it's brave to go out there and do just a fruit vape. So, you know, it's a solid range. Price-wise, I think you're looking around the £13 to £15 mark, your standard sort of 60 or 50ml short fill range. That's about the right price for it. Obviously, you add a nick shot to get your 3 milligrams. These are zero. I've literally just cracked the bottles just now. So this is very much the first impression. And I think when we all try a new juice, we always go off our first impression. It doesn't matter, oh, well, I've been vaping it 2 weeks and now I like it. You know, when you're choosing your juice, you have a taste and you go, oh, I like that. So to review it off the first impression, I think is the important thing. Definitely all three of these could be all day vapes for the right person. For me, it would be the Peach Perfect with that peach and grapefruit citrus blend, and I think that's a really solidly put together flavour. Again, with the grape, I do like a good grape flavour, so if you get one and it's nice and fresh and nice and fruity, you're going to want to vape more of it. I think they may have just about missed the mark with the Rhubellion, just because for me it's a little bit tart. Definitely worth checking out. If you were a fan of the previous 6LIX range, you know, the Melon on My Mind, the Love Bite, Truth and Pear, if you like those, these are well worth a look, I think. Take them all with a pinch of salt, because they're not going to be the icy cold, super over the top sweet flavours that the original 6LIX were. And I think that about wraps that up for this review. I'd like to thank the guys at 6licks for sending these juices my way for the review. Obviously, it hasn't affected my review in any way. I try and keep them as honest as possible, mainly for you guys. I mean, what's the point in giving a good review if I don't like it? It's pointless. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up button and go to my channel, hit the notification bell. That's going to let you know when I upload. I've got a couple of interesting hardware uploads, reviews even, to do. One of them being the Squid Industries V3 double barrel, and I've also got the Littlefoot mouth to lung from Wake Mod Co. coming up probably in the next week or so, which I'm really looking forward to reviewing for you guys. Thank you again for watching. My name has been Cass, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.